Good morning, I'm Sue Ronnenkamp. I'm back for more sage advice with AgeTHRIVE, all about aging well and owning our aging in positive, meaningful, and empowering ways. What's the topic for today? Let's talk about this issue of, does minding this really matter? Well, first, what are we talking about? Well, what we're talking about minding is our minds. Kind of an important thing. Obviously, because it's on the compass, it's on the Living Empowered for Life compass. Stimulating our minds is so important for thriving with age and making the most of these golden years of ours. But I also wanted to talk about this topic for another reason. It came up a couple months ago, I guess by now already. And I'm not sure you heard what the Oxford Dictionary Word of the Year was for 2024, but it sure caught my attention. The word they chose was brain rot. Now, they weren't talking about old people. They were actually talking about young people. It's spending too much time on technology and devices and social media that's kind of rotting our brains in this day and age. But it caught my attention because it is important for us as we grow older to mind our minds just like we do our bodies. It's another part of our existence that truly is a use it or lose it part of our life. So if we don't exercise our bodies, we get weaker, we can lose our mobility, our ability to just handle the daily living requirements every day as we go out in time. The same is true now with our brains. We know we need to exercise and stimulate our brains just as much as we do our bodies. And I think this one maybe gets a little less attention when we think about healthy aging or aging well. But research has found that so much of what we thought was just diminishment from age is just disuse. So saying our bodies get weaker with age, our minds, is because we're not using our bodies and our minds. So we need to mind these parts of our lives and keep minding them as we go out in time. The best way to do this is through some form of active learning. And what do I mean by active learning? Things that really work our brains and require effort, like learning to play a piano or a musical instrument, going back and really taking on learning math again. Not just sitting on a computer, but learning how to manage and maintain and use our technology, our laptops, our smartphones, etc. Using video games, learning dance steps, learning a new language. Those are all things that take very active learning to even get to the beginning stages of your ability. When I go to Zumba, I have to follow the patterns, follow the leader, stay in touch with the rhythm and all the different steps. That's great for the brain as well as the body. But that's true for other things we can do as well to mind our minds. The other thing we want to do as we go out in time is we want to keep our brains looking like superhighways. And again, the only way we can do this is through some of these areas: learning new things, trying new things, embracing being a beginner over and over and over again. Because it's not doing the same things over and over again that help us. It's doing the new things that really stimulate our brains and keep our brains active and our minds active as well. There's another piece of this that maybe you hadn't thought about, but also comes to mind with our minds, and that's minding our mindsets. Well, what does this mean? Well, let me talk about this for a few minutes. I love this quote from Clint Eastwood, and I think it sums up very well one of the issues with minding our mindsets. His mindset about aging is, don't let the old man in. And why is this important? Because it really gets at our beliefs about aging, and that's what he means. Is related to our minds and mental fitness, not thinking, well, I'm old, I can't do that, I can't learn that, I can't take on that challenge. That's an old belief. That's letting the old man or old woman into our minds and our mindsets. But rather coming at it from a very positive attitude where we go, sure, I can do that. Now, maybe older, might take me a little bit longer, but I can take on new things. And that comes into the other piece of the mindset about minding our mindsets, is this concept of a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset, which you probably have heard about somewhere along the line. Some people kind of are naturally gravitate to one or the other. But a fixed mindset is really just like just bricking yourself in, putting a moat around it and going, no, I'm not going to learn anything new. I can't do that, or I can't change. I can't do anything differently. Growth mindset is always looking at opportunities for growth and development and expansion of our abilities in any way, but especially with our brains, not just our bodies or maybe new interests. This is especially important for us as we grow older, because as I've shown before with this slide, it is very easy to creep into rut-tirement as we get older and just literally do the same things over and over and over again and not stray from that in any form or fashion. And what they found on the brain, again, if we do the same things, I don't care if it's crossword puzzles or doing the same dance routine every week, that doesn't stimulate our brains after a while because we're not learning anything new. We're just doing the same thing. So that literally forms ruts in our brains versus coming in with the new where we're really creating that whole superhighway, stimulating the neurons, creating new patterns and pathways through our brain. Those are the things that really help us as we go out in time. So a growth mindset would look something like this. Why not when something new comes up? Why not try it? Sure. Again, I'll take that on. That sounds interesting and fun. Yeah, it may be hard, but I like a challenge. And then just the basic, I love learning new things. If we can just come in with that mindset, I love learning new things, and keep taking on new interests, new creative projects, new learning projects, anything that's new and coming in and stimulating our brains. One last thing that may be on your mind with me talking about this topic is, can doing this really help prevent dementia or Alzheimer's disease? Well, here's the research right now. No. There is no proof that just taking more classes, doing crossword puzzles, learning to play a musical instrument is going to 100% prevent you from getting cognitive loss of any kind. But here's what is true and what is known, is that as we keep learning and stimulating our minds and minding our minds and mindset, we are building cognitive reserve. And this can benefit us if something like dementia of any kind or Alzheimer's comes into our lives or in our picture. They have found people who have a higher level of education, who have been very active learners, can stave off the effects of those diseases, and they are diseases, not just natural aging. No, they are diseases for a longer period of time than people that have not attained more education, kept active learning a piece of their life, normal life, all their life. So it is something that can really benefit us, even for that, let alone with just normal aging, keeping our minds as sharp as possible. That's our goal for aging well and thriving with age. The rest of our life begins now. Don't miss out. So if you're not putting any effort into learning, active learning this year, take it on. I'm starting a new class this week at a university close by. I'm learning, last year I learned even just new creative projects like crocheting and taking on new patterns. It can be big or small. The key is to keep that active learning going in our life. As always, I'll end with just this line about, you can follow me on YouTube at AgeTHRIVE, that's my channel, or on Facebook, Let's Thrive with Age. But just keep remembering, our goal is to live empowered with life and stay actively aging well through our efforts and our intentions and our goal setting for this coming year, so that we can really reap the benefits of this time of life. Thanks so much. See you next time. Take care.